Hello. In this video, we will create a corridor model, and we will try to explore all the options and the tools that are available while creating a corridor models, and how can we play with a corridor model once it is created. It will be a series of videos that hopefully will help you to get an idea of how corridor model works and how you can play with it if you have one. So let's start making a new corridor model. We have for corridor to be created, the first thing that I think required is an assembly. First of all, you have to be uh, in Civil 3D uh, view. I mean, we have these different kind of drafting annotations, 3D modeling. These are workspace. So workspace that you need is Civil 3D. We are already there. So okay. So first thing I'm gonna do is that I'll create an assembly. Assembly has has two options: create assembly and add assembly offset. This assembly offset we later on we are gonna cover it in one of our future videos. So right now we are gonna talk about create assembly. So let's create assembly. Let's give it a name. In my case, I'll be making a channel, drainage channel. You call it ditch. Also, we will create a ditch. So I'll give it a name. And it will be really simple, and hopefully we will try to make it a little bit complicated, not much, because we will have to explore many tools related to corridors. So hopefully this model will we can work only with this model in order to explore all those tools. So the name is ditch, and then uh, I'm gonna keep all the things a default, except this code set style, which is really important, because I want to play with corridor in a different way, in plane as well as in section as well as in profiles. So what I need, this code set style, I need to keep it different for plan, and I need to keep it different for sections, and then different for profiles. In this way, if I make changes to this code set style in profile view, it will not affect anything in my plan view. So that is where it is really important. And then this last step is assembly layer. So I'm gonna keep it default whatever it is. So let's change this one too. We will make a copy of this code set style. We will make a copy of it. Mm, Copy current selection, and then we'll come to name, and we'll name it we will name it I'm having some problem with my headphone. So okay, I'm gonna name it plan plan only plan only code set style. Okay, and I'm just gonna go with this name only right now, for right now, because if we need any changes, we can come back at any time and play with this new code set style. So let's press OK. Okay, so once you provide all those information, you get a message, as can be seen in the command line. It says specify assembly baseline location. So just put your just select your location somewhere, somewhere feasible and somewhere good. So okay, our assembly is there. we will select the assembly, and let's see what's the name of the assembly. Just by selecting the assembly, and then you get too many options available now related only to assembly itself. So there is subassembly properties, which I'm not gonna talk about right now, but we definitely will cover it in one of our future videos. And then there is this assembly properties. uh, all these tools, most of them, like add to assembly, clear offset in assembly, select similar assemblies, and many more, special mirror, copy, and more, add offset, and all these we will definitely try to cover those in our future videos. So please subscribe to my channel so that you may be able to see those videos in future soon, inshallah. Okay. First thing that I need to make sure is that I need to give this assembly a good name, which we already have given it, but let's see, even we will be able to know where that location is, where we can see the name of the assembly itself. So come to the assembly, select the assembly first, and then come to assembly properties, click it, and then you already see that name of the assembly is ditch. And then if you come to codes, your plain only code set style already has been applied to it. And okay, second thing is that, like I said, in this video we will only make the assembly. We will make a ditch, and we'll try to make it simple. So thing that I'm gonna do is that I will use polyline command, and we'll make a very so let's say 1.85. So I'm gonna make a line which is 1.85 meter long, and then I'm gonna make it 0.75 meter deep. Okay, and then I'm gonna make a line over here. Okay, and I'm gonna make my simple assembly first. You can play with any shape you want to, and I'll make it 0.5 offset minus 0.25, sorry. So I'll make it 0.25 to the right and 0.25 to the left, and then, well, let's say this one, and we'll mirror it to the other side. Okay, and then we'll get rid of this one, and then we'll make it 0.15. So it's gonna be a 0.15 meter thick 0.15 meter thick ditch, and then finally we'll do some cleanup work. Okay. Okay. So there it is, and right now, if so, select one line, it's a single line. We will make it the whole shape as one single line. So go to PE, polyline edit, and then use this multiple option and select everything. Press enter, and then use this join option and press enter and enter again. So now it is one shape. And now what I'm gonna do is I will come to home button, home tab, and then we'll come to this small arrow. It's not over here, so let's see where over. sorry. You go to Home tab and then you come to uh, this area where it says create design. Click the small arrow and then create subassembly from polyline. Okay, we are going to use this option. And by the way, there are many assemblies, sub-assemblies types that we can use, and we will use many of them in our future videos. And just only for example, I'm going to show that that palette that has all those assemblies. This is where it is, tool palettes, and you can press that Control+3 shortcut as well to bring that palette. So click this guy and you will see that there are too many sub-assemblies that you can work with. There are shoulders sub-assemblies, median sub-assemblies, curves, and many other. And most important one will be this generic. It has really some useful tools that will help. Will try to work with. And by the way, right now we are not using any of the polyline any of the sub-assemblies provided over there, but instead we are making use of the polyline to create a sub-assembly. Okay, so come to create design again, then make use of this create sub-assembly from polyline, and then it says select an entity. Select this entity and give this assembly a name. Subassembly. It's not an assembly, it's a subassembly. Subassemblies are the entities that we are gonna keep inside the assembly itself. So one assembly basically can contain many sub-assemblies. And in other words, assembly is a combination of many sub-assemblies. Okay, and we are gonna call this one as this subassembly as ditch. And then we will provide some other additional component to this assembly as well. And then ditch, and we will be more focused on plan right now. And for plan, like I said, we should have different code set style, both for plan as well as sections and even profiles. So we should have code set style different for each of these three items. We already have one for plan, so let's use that one, and I'm sure we are gonna have it. Yes, plan only code set style, plan only. In fact, make it all codes. We will create a new one. Okay, and we'll call it assembly only code set style. This particular style will only be specific to assembly itself, and we're gonna press OK. And then it says erase existing entities, so let's say no, maybe we may need this polyline again, so press OK. And then you can click the subassembly and just move it to one side. Okay, and really important thing would be yes, just click this subassembly which already has been created from a polyline, but this subassembly has no connection to this assembly yet. So when you click the subassembly, it gives you an option called add to. So we will select the subassembly itself, and then we will come to this add to assembly. This option, I'm going to click on this option, and we will select the assembly that we want this subassembly to attach to. So this is our assembly. Just click anywhere on the symbol. It doesn't matter where you pick. Just select anywhere, and then this subassembly is now part of it. Okay. uh, right now you can see is that the subassembly is attached to the assembly itself, uh, but the point of attachment of the subassembly to the assembly itself, it's not okay. So we need to fix that. How can we fix it? This is really important in a sense that when you run the corridor, then this subassembly will run along this point. I mean, uh, the point of run of this subassembly is this point right now. We don't want to do this. We in fact want this whole section or this subassembly to run along the alignment of the corridor, uh, but the point of run should be its middle. We can call it invert level as well. So how we change it? I'm gonna select it, and then I will come to modify origin. Modify origin, we'll click it. Right now point of origin for this subassembly is this point that's already there. So we are gonna select it, and we will modify origin, and let's see, we will come to the midpoint. And as you clicked the midpoint of the subassembly, it just jumped. Now this particular point will be the point along with which this subassembly will run. I mean, hopefully you get the idea. What I want to say is that this section will now run along the alignment using a certain profile, but along this point. Okay, this is really important. And how we can do this? I'm gonna press Ctrl Z, and let's do it again. We will select the subassembly, and then we will come to the modify origin command, and we will select this point, and it will jump directly there. Okay, so we have a subassembly and we have assembly as well. We have two things with us right now, subassembly and assembly. And then I'll come to the plane, and we have an alignment as well. An alignment name is, when you select it, alignment name is alignment -1, but this name doesn't suits us, so we will come to the prospector, and then we will come to the alignment, and then we will come to the center line alignment, and we'll rename this alignment. We can do it directly by selecting the alignment in the model as well, but let's do it from here. Alignment, just right click and go to properties, and then change the name to ditch alignment. Ditch alignment. Okay, so maybe we in future maybe we have to use another alignment as well, so let's make this one as ditch alignment -01, and then press OK. Okay, we have an alignment. So we have an alignment, we have assembly, and then we have sub-assembly attached to this assembly as well. Let's get rid of this guy because we don't need it anymore. Okay, and I'm gonna make a big circle over here so that we know where our assembly is. And even we need two other entities as well, and those entities are profiles. We need profiles for this alignment, and those profile can be of two types. One is surface profiles, and then we have yet another type called design profile or layout profile. These two profile, surface profile and design profile, they are totally two different things. Okay, surface profile will always be created along a certain surface if you have it in Civil 3D, and we have a surface in our surface as well, in our model as well. I select the surface, and the surface seems to be existing ground, and if I select it and come to object viewer and see it, we will be able to see our surface as well. So right now we have two profiles. One is a surface profile, I mean, our profile view has two kinds of profile right now. This red one is surface profile, and as you can see, as I select it, I get a name of it called existing ground surface 1. And then there is yet another profile type called, I call it design profile, but I think in Civil 3D term it is called layout profile. So if I select it, it gives me its name as well. Okay, so for corridor creation, things that you need: number one, you would need assembly, which is really important. Then you need subassembly, which you need to attach to the assembly, and then the point of attachment should be decided first as well. Then you need to have an alignment along which you will run your corridor, and then that alignment should have mm, profiles attached to it. It can only be a surface profile, or it can be a layout profile, or it can be many profiles attached to one alignment. And these are those things. So we will create the corridor in our next video. uh, Please, if you have any question, you can just put your questions in the uh, section below, and I will try to answer those.